You know what? International break, fair play. You got me? Because this was absolute chaos and carnage, the kind of which that I love to see. I'll be honest, I've been missing club football, but the kind of drama we've seen in the last 48 hours with the final World Cup qualifiers, Fairs, they got me back. We're going to talk about the winners and the losers of the entire international break, from the European games, the Africa games, even a bit of Asia, South America. So we're going to talk about as much as possible because there are some huge storylines. I'm recording this right after the Scotland game. So listen, in fact, let's just start. Great Britain, the Empire's back. Start playing the anthem. It's time for the unification of Britain again because everyone is back and cooking. Of course, we saw England. They got their international break done with two calm 2-0 wins against Serbia, where it was basically, I guess, Arsenal FC with Eze and Saka scoring. Then the whole Foden on a plate meme and drama, whatever. Then the second game, arguably even more impressive, against Serbia's ops Albania. They also won 2-0 at a stadium where Albania barely even conceded goals, let alone lose there. So that is really massive. They completed their groups, literally winning every game, scoring in every game, clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet. It was so easy that they had to invent this fake narrative that, oh, now Tuchel hates Bellingham and Tuchel hates this guy and he hates all the fullbacks and Kwanzaa. It's like, bro, give it a rest. Sometimes just be happy. Obviously, big ups to Albania, who in that same group scraped second ahead of Serbia, and they were doing the whole, celebration thing. Fair play to them. But even bigger ups to Ireland. It has been a while since Ireland have had anything to be happy about in a footballistic sense. Now we've seen, what year was it? It was like early 2010s, the Nike Switch advert, where Ronaldo will do that and he bump into some random guy who just becomes elite and Ronaldo falls off. That's what happened with Ronaldo and Troy Parrott. Because Parrott scores a brace against Portugal against all odds to give them a slim, tiny glimmer of hope of going through. Portugal, they were kind of comfy already, but that was still a bit of a stunner to them. In fact, Ronaldo was so rattled, bang, red card. Lo and behold, it didn't matter because they went to go and win the next game 9-1 against Armenia. But again, they went through. All eyes, obviously, yeah, big up to João Neves and Bruno and everyone involved in that 9-1 where they packed Armenia. But all eyes, my eyes anyway, my two eyes were both on Ireland against Hungary. I said, okay, surely they're not going to do this, right? Hungary took the lead. Ireland came back. Hungary again. Ireland came. Bro, it's just Parrott. I'm telling you, Parrott somehow just, when they did a little body switch, he got the clutch gene out of nowhere. He's a guy that, yeah, you are an alright, Spurs prospect and then you moved on and whatnot. No one was really chatting about you. Suddenly, he's put the nation on his back to carry like this. Whilst a certain other person wearing the captain's armband, by the way, for Hungary, I laughed so much. I saw them posting screenshots on Twitter. They were saying, get this man some help, get him some help. Look at his SofaScore rating. You didn't watch the match. I watched it, and you know what I saw? Launching aimless bombers up and down, up. The ball will come to his feet, launch an aimless cross, launch a long ball. Until, yeah, one landed, he got the assist for it. Other than that, losing the ball, getting heated, crumbling. When it's time to defend his goal, he's too big for that. No, I'm not going to track back. I'm going to stand here and then raise my arm and say, oh, why is nobody helping me? You go and help. Lo and behold, in the last minute, Ireland, Troy Parrott, the ball gets flicked on and he gets the tiniest toe on it. But it's enough to see Ireland through to, well, the playoffs, I guess. The final round of playoffs or whatever in March, somewhere that they didn't even expect to be maybe 10 days ago. So big up to them. We'll go to, I guess, Scotland, right? The game that we've just witnessed right now. Another one where we thought, when it comes to World Cup, Scotland aren't regulars there at all. But today, it looked like, and I'll tell you what, I was so sure that McTominay had something for me today. Here's a question, actually, real quick. I want to know. In fact, first of all, subscribe if you haven't already, because daily content, immediate after the game content, club football content coming back soon, road to 60k. I want to know from English people, how do you feel about like the fellow British nations doing well in football? Do you care? Do you want them to fail? Because I know like Scottish people and Irish people and Welsh people, they hate England, but do you guys hate them? Because I'll be honest, I love seeing Scotland and Ireland and these men cooking, but I guess I'm not really English, so maybe my real thoughts are affected by the fact that I'm also somewhat of a foreigner. But regardless, anyway, I said I was so sure McTominay had something for me. I made the thumbnail already. Well, I'm not going to show you the timestamps or whatever. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see. I posted it beforehand, bro. we are ready. I knew McTominay had something. What I didn't know was that he hit a bicycle kick like that, bro, in the 3rd minute. The way this guy leapt, if you look at the photographs, bro, my man has jumped with his head, number 2 of Denmark. This guy's foot is like a meter above him. I'm thinking, brother, it's like Ronaldo Champions League goal. So, hey, that's a fair play. But then, oh no. Then it was all Denmark, I'll be real. It was backs against the wall. Denmark wave after wave after wave. Eventually, they get a penalty. And Højlund couldn't miss this one after missing 4 or 5 chances, before that. And then Scotland took the lead. Yet again, you're thinking, okay, Scotland, please, just like pattern up now. You know, you're against 10 men. This is it. Dorgu equalizes late on. I'm thinking, bro, I've wasted my thumbnail. I've wasted everything. Just get me a goal, please, Scotland. Get me something. They bring on Kieran Tierney. Lo and behold, the ball drops to him. Time freezes. The stadium freezes. And then Kieran Tierney, like Coutinho, the cat in the snow, whoosh, whips it round all the players into the bottom corner, outside the box, maybe 20, 25 yards, 3-2 with maybe 2 minutes to go. Denmark are still having chances. They're still piling on the pressure. The ref has added another 8 minutes from somewhere. Eventually, they get the chance to break out. McLean is on the halfway, and I'm thinking, bro, just run away, give the ball to someone out wide. This guy pings it from right on the halfway line, and it just about sneaks past the post. 4-2, game over, last kick of the game. Everyone's running there, celebrating. Essentially, they bottled it and then they unbottled it so that the whole of Scotland can pop their champagne or drink the beers and the iron brews and whatnot. There's going to be no water in Scotland. It's going to be, you're going to bath in the iron brew today. So enjoy that one. Big up to Scotland. Obviously, elsewhere in Europe, before we go to Africa, France got a couple easy wins. It's nothing to write home about, right? France are already comfy. Some new faces getting on the score sheet, the likes of Ekitike, Akliouche and whatnot. Big up to them getting their first goals. Germany grabbed a 2-0 win and a 6-0 win. Again, they've been a little bit shaky at times, but results-wise, you know, they've done what they had to do. Apparently, Wirtz was looking a lot sharper. I didn't watch the game, I'll be honest with you, so I have no idea if that's true or not. Spain, likewise, they were already through. They were already kind of comfortable with the first win. So the 2-2 draw against Turkey, it was kind of meaningless. Another game that I guess you could argue, the last one that was, I guess, meaningless, but to me it meant something, and I guess to those watching it meant something. Norway. What's going on there? They pop Estonia 4-1. You're thinking, whoa, okay, Haaland brace, he's still going crazy. They done it again against Italy. I said, Now, I didn't watch the Italy game. I'm going to lie to you. I was watching the game that we're going to speak about next. I wasn't watching that game. But for Norway to end on, is it plus 32 goal difference? I said, what kind of behavior is this, bro? That, you know what? Fair play, man. Whilst Italy are there crying when they've got a group with my nation, Moldova. Don't know about all that. But like I said, the reason I wasn't watching Norway against Italy is because I was watching Nigeria versus Congo. Let's talk. Because guess what, Nigeria? It's light off. Now, obviously, look, the international break started with them cooking, right? They had scammed their way into making the playoffs because some guys got deducted points and blah, blah, blah. Then they managed to bang Judge to defeat Gabon, who should have had goals and pens and fouls not given or whatever. Fine. Second half, extra time rather. Osimhen suddenly woke up and banged in a brace to make up for, let's be honest, a pretty abhorrent 90 minutes that I'm going to pretend never happened so I can keep my Osimhen propaganda going. Now, here's the issue. At that point, everyone from Nigeria, they're laughing, oh, that, Ghana, you're our little brothers, smooth. They're doing all the celebrations. Lo and behold, they end up losing, and now they're the ones crying. In fact, they're messaging me saying they're unfollowing. I said, okay, no problem. So you guys, you can give it out, you can dish it, you can laugh, you can do the banter. But when someone now starts calling you super pigeons, now you get upset and you're in your feelings. And then you stop writing comments under my videos talking about, oh, I'll speak about Nigeria now, talk now. I'm waiting for you guys to comment. There's a guy that I've been tagging him. He's not replying. It looks like I'm not the one that's sensitive here, guys. Listen, this is football banters. Outside football, Nigeria, big love to all you, man. Fantastic exports, fantastic people, you know, friends growing up and whatnot. But in that 90 minutes, guess what? I'm a hater with pride, bro. Just like you should be for Ghana. Just like, I don't know, Germany and England will be for each other. Brazil, Argentina. It's a football rivalry. You have to firm that. And you have to firm getting knocked out on penalties by Congo because you were so bad. Osimhen went off halftime injured, and they lost all semblance of any footballing ability whatsoever. It was all Congo. If only that number 20 guy, what's his name, Sipenga, if only he had a bit of, I don't want to be rude, but a bit of a brain in his head, maybe Congo could have won it in normal time or in 120 minutes, but they didn't. It went to pens. They changed the keeper. Nigeria were firing lasers like Piccolo Special Beam Cannon, I was calling it, that the lasers were so big. It didn't matter. People were throwing bottles. It didn't matter. In the end, Congo won it. The manager started crying that they were doing voodoo. He couldn't hack that Nigeria was so bad. And Congo, listen, congratulations. Really, really happy for you. You gave the continent a lot of joy and happiness and laughter. But you're not completely through yet, because guess what? Over in Asia, I watched this game. I'll be real, I watched it for the sake of the facial reactions. I wanted to see how he'd react to the games as I'm watching it. I watched Iraq versus UAE, the final Asia qualifier to get into that same intercontinental playoff that Congo is going to be in. And the UAE took the lead. And it was looking dark. They made some subs. They equalized. And then in the last minute, literally the last minute, it was about 10 minutes added on, I think. They get a penalty. It goes to VAR for like 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes waiting to take it. And then finally, they crash it home with nearly the last kick of the game to win 2-1. And the reason I say Congo should be careful is because I will be real, a lot of the Asian teams during this last 2 weeks have been packing in the African teams. I can speak for my own country, Ghana. We got packed by Japan. We got packed by South Korea. All the other nations are losing to like random Asian teams. The only African team to start winning, Somalia, went and beat Bahrain. So big up Somalia. There's no footage, but my guy Mohamed Salah, if you know him, that's a #1 Somalia prop guy. He showed me on his phone the footage of Saka-san getting the assist. So big up Saka-san, big up Somalia. Unfortunately, we're never going to see that footage, so you have to just take their word for it. Now, South America, there wasn't really anything in terms of competitive games, but the friendlies were interesting because on the one hand, you had Argentina going to Angola. Messi gets his first ever goal in Africa, and the Angola fans are celebrating like they're the one that qualified for the World Cup. I didn't realize what was happening there. I understood. Messi's first ever goal on African soil. So hold on a minute. Does that mean Messi didn't score at 2010 World Cup? Really? I thought it was like a fake news, and I realized, yeah, fairs. Messi had never scored in Africa prior to this last game. So yeah, you know what? I'll be real. Sometimes in a friendly, I hear it. Just celebrate with him. Likewise, I see Brazil facing Senegal at the Emirates. Bro, the roar for Brazil's goals, Esteval, it was so loud. You would think you were in the Maracanã when they broke the record for the attendance back in 1950. For those of us who remember, I don't think Arsenal fans have seen that kind of atmosphere before. That was like, you can imagine it had Arsenal won the league or something like that. So yeah, fair play to Brazil. Obviously, speaking of Arsenal as well, you know, club football's back. So hopefully you are all excited for that. Although Gabriel is now injured because he pulled his hammy or something happened. I don't know if it's a calf or thigh or something happened in that friendly. Again, there's some players that were taking friendlies way too seriously that I'm like, brother, chill out, bro. Like, your spot's not going to get taken. The likes of, like I said, Kane, Bellingham and Rice, the way they were running for England, I'm thinking, bro, take it easy, G. No one's... keep your passport. No one's going to take your spot, bro. You're all right. But anyway, I mean, listen, big up to all the CONCACAF and all these guys. Maybe Steve McLaren's got something for us with Jamaica if they can win their last game and do a little Ja Rastafari thing. We'll wait and we'll see what happens. But for now, guys, that is going to be me. Tomorrow we'll be doing top 10 players of the international break. So hopefully you might stay tuned for that one. Like the video, subscribe, comment if your nation's going to the World Cup, or if they're not, comment where you're from. Other than that, guys, like I said, have a blessed week. I'll see you guys in a bit.